Hi, guys. So, listen, I want to help people on the twin flame journey that are in pain and suffering and looking in their 3D reality, and they're literally seeing hell on earth. That is part of the process. And let me tell you why. It's not because you're on the twin flame journey and now you're being tortured. Now your life is a living hell. Now everything is falling apart. You're losing your relationship. You're losing your job. You're losing your money. You're losing all the things that brought you safety and security and comfort in the past. This journey is not to torture you. However, your ego and your mind are literally going crazy, seeing everything in your 3D reality falling apart. And you're thinking somehow that that's a bad thing because your ego is telling you that if you lose what you have always had, you will be left with nothing. But I'm here to tell you that that's the opposite of true. And I'm going to show you in just a moment what's really going on and why you are just about to be in a breakthrough that will radically change your life. But first, if this information is helpful to you and you find value in it, I make free content like this to help people on the twin flame journey. So if it is helpful, please like the video. It's free to like. It costs you nothing. And if you're getting free information, this is about equal energy exchange. So make sure you give it a like for free, okay? It also helps other people on the twin flame journey who are in pain and need some guidance. So it's almost like a public service for you to help other people find this information. If you are experiencing what I'm about to talk about in this video, I want you to comment down below and let me know your experience. I read every comment. I respond when I can, or if there is something to respond to, I will respond. And also, if you have questions, you can ask down below in the comments because occasionally I make videos that will be response videos, okay? And lastly, make sure you subscribe because I would love to get to know you guys better, get to know what's going on in the community, what can I help with. All right, so let's get on with it. Your 3D reality is what you need to see and overcome on this journey. And let me tell you what that means. When you get activated on a soul level on the twin flame journey, the purpose is a spiritual ascension path. And what does ascension mean? It actually means for you to raise your level of conscious awareness so that you see who you actually are, as opposed to being asleep, unconscious, and not aware of what's really going on. However, there is a possibility that if you're not really seeing this journey for what it is, it's a soul ascension path, and you get stuck fighting with your 3D reality, meaning everything around you is falling apart. You're stuck in your energetic frequency. You're afraid to let go. You're afraid to surrender. You're resisting the journey. Like, what I feel energetically is resisting the journey is like trying to put a cat in a bathtub to give the cat a bath. You are going to struggle. You are going to create a living hell in your life the more you resist the journey. And what I mean by resisting is you're looking at the 3D, which is an illusion, by the way. It's not who you actually are. That ego self that you think you are, your job, your name, your gender, your race, your ideology, your religion, your nationality, all those things are just what the ego uses to formulate who you think you are. But that is not who you are. You are an eternal soul having a physical experience as a human being in this lifetime. And surprise, surprise, if you're on the twin flame journey, you got the mission or the assignment to be awakened by your twin flame, thus being awakened to who you actually are on a soul level. So here's how it works. Once you're aware and awake that you're on a spiritual journey and that you are a soul having a physical experience in this 3D reality, you understand, hopefully by this point, that this is a realm of duality where your ego sees you as separate from all that which you desire. Your ego thinks you do not have what you need. Your ego thinks you are not that which you think you need, right? So let me give you an example. The twin flame comes in and you have felt your own soul in another body. You have felt your own soul resonance probably for the very first time in your life. And it feels amazing. It feels amazing. It feels like nothing you've ever experienced in your life. Usually it doesn't last very long. Like mine was probably about 6 to 8 weeks of physical contact. And yes, I had a sexual relationship with my twin, so it got really super activated. I got really super energetically activated. A lot of sacral energy, a lot of heart energy. There was no way for me to forget this experience. It was like nothing I had ever experienced in my life. I had never actually believed in necessarily or done any research on past lives at all before this. But the moment I looked into the physical form of my twin flame's eyes, I saw myself. It was almost like I was having a past life experience the whole time from the moment I laid eyes on this person. As a hypnotherapist, we say the conscious mind goes into abatement, meaning if basically we don't need you anymore. And what happened was my conscious mind was sort of shut off. And for a moment, I was just having a dreamlike state where, well, not for a moment, for the whole time. The whole entire time was almost like I was in a dreamlike state and everything was delayed. There was no time. And it was almost like my body and my mind were not necessary at that point, and my soul was taking over, but it was not a conscious understanding at that point. It was more like a dream that I was having. It was really one of the strangest things I have ever experienced, and there's just no way you can mix it up with any other experience. So, with that being said, once we had gone into our first separation, I had my core wound pain, which was grief. Well, and many people in the mastermind know my story, but my father died when I was 5 years old, and I never, after that, had any masculine energy really in my life. My mother never remarried, and all the other masculine energy in my life were men that she chose that were way less of a stature of my father, if that makes sense. So there was no way to compare the two. My mom just basically gave up on life and never remarried and only basically picked men who were much lower vibration than she was. It was just a very strange situation to be in. But the point is that I never really had any strong masculine energy at all in my life. So honestly, I was so disconnected from my inner masculine energy because as you are both inner masculine and inner feminine. in the best possible way, you will be equally masculine and feminine in a very balanced and healthy way. But when you have an imbalance in one masculine or feminine in your childhood because of something that happens with either your mother or your father or any other figure in your life, you will favor one or the other. You will identify with one or the other, but you may fear the one that you did not have access to, if that makes sense. So a lot of stuff like that will show itself in your reality, where you'll realize the inner masculine and feminine imbalance that you have. You will realize the energetic centers that are causing you the most pain, which would be your core wound pain. Usually it's your heart. You've never experienced love before, or love was taken away from you at an early age, or you felt unworthy or unloved, or someone told you you were unworthy and unloved. And all you're doing when you're in ego, when you're stuck in the 3D, is trying to seek outside of yourself to get the thing that you think that you need. The irony of the twin flame journey is that you must get to a place within where you know that you already are the thing that you were previously seeking. Because it is not going to be possible to get it from outside of you, even from your twin. So to get back around to the main point of this video, is if you keep looking at your 3D reality, which is the old vibration of you, the old vibration of your inner world just reflecting itself back at you. If you keep looking at the 3D and then reacting to the 3D as if that is your reality, you're looking at an illusion and telling yourself that the illusion is your truth and there's nothing you can do about it. But you have the journey backwards. You must turn the journey inward to your inner world, because your inner world is always faithfully reflected back to you in the 3D reality. And it comes from your inner world first, not the other way around. You must do yourself a favor and realize that if you are on the true twin flame journey, first of all, your twin flame will never harm you because they are your soul, and your soul cannot harm you in any way. But if you are on the twin flame journey and that twin flame out there keeps triggering you through behavior that they're doing, just understand that they are just a reflection of your inner world. So what are they doing? Look at that and then ask yourself, am I really doing this to myself? Is this an old frequency or old reflection of how I previously viewed myself? And the more you seek validation outside of yourself that you're doing it right, or that you can love yourself when you get this thing outside of you to validate you, you're just understand that you're doing the journey backwards. So the best thing for you to do is to close your eyes, go within, and find the places that your twin flame is showing you, by the way, already showing you, where you are not loving yourself fully or accepting yourself fully as you are without changing anything. That's another part of the journey, is that you must love yourself now as you are without anything having to change. But the beauty of it is when you surrender to this journey, you stop struggling, stop fighting with it, stop fighting with yourself, stop denying it, stop being indecisive, stop being confused. Just understand that you are your soul, and your soul is everything you have ever needed, wanted, or desired. If you just get that which you think you need from your inner world, which has it in abundance, you will see the outer world change. And that includes your twin flame's behavior. But it has to start on the inside. It cannot start on the outside. So your twin is never going to initiate any of these processes because they're just reflecting your inner world back to you. They're the 3D version of your inner world. So they will come in and tell you, hey, I mean, honestly, one of the last times I saw my twin after we had been separated for a very long time, when I finally figured it out that my inner world's creating all of this, I realized that, first of all, if you're into quantum physics, you realize that you are always in the quantum field. Always in the quantum field. You cannot actually get out of the quantum field. You're in it. You are it. And you're always in quantum superposition. That means that whatever you're projecting outward, whatever energies or frequencies or vibrations you're projecting outward will come back to you. So once I figured that out, I realized, oh, my twin flame is me. My twin flame is me. So however I perceive myself and however I perceive my twin will just be shown to me in the 3D. There really is no they. There is only I am. So whatever you tell yourself that you are, whoever you say that you are, who are you? Your I am is what is always shown to you in your physical reality. And if you start identifying with your soul, I am love, peace, bliss, abundance, joy, and you start living your life in the embodiment of that, then you are out of the 3D. Then you are not trapped by the 3D. Then you are not controlled or frustrated with this endless looping of the same scenario over and over and over again, because you have shifted in your inner world and your outer world has no choice but to shift right along with you because you're creating all of it. I just want to give you some hope that you can shift this, but you do need to transmute the energy and do this inner work. It's very, very important. Otherwise, you're going to keep looping around in the same cycles over and over again. If you need help with your energy, I'm here for you. I am a clinical hypnotherapist and quantum healer, otherwise known as QHHT. I can do sessions with you and help you get in touch with your inner being. I can help you shift your energy. Or you can join the Twin Flame Alchemy Mastermind, which is my amazing course and group coaching community that is basically everything that I have experienced on my own by making all of the mistakes on this journey, believing all the wrong things, not understanding how this all works. You can learn from my, I would call it my mistakes. And how I learned what not to do and what to do the hard way, okay? And also you get to join a bunch of other amazing twin flames on this journey who are all doing this journey together. We are all shedding our old lives. We are all learning to create from the inside out. We are all learning who we are as souls. And it is a fantastic journey to be able to be with people who get you. You can finally talk to this about. If you need to do private sessions with me, I have that as an option as available too. It just depends on your level of readiness and how far you're willing to go on this journey. So thank you for listening. Also, this is an equal energy exchange. So if you got this far, click the link in the description box below and see what I have to offer. You can do my master class, which is the free 12 myths. You can sign up for private sessions or you can sign up for the mastermind. But whatever you do, just make sure you like this video if it was helpful to you and make sure you comment down below. I read every one of them and I comment, or I'll even make a video if you leave a question. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.